We've got to start giving Kenshiro Teraji some credit. He's a small guy, but he just defeated Seigo Yuri Akui in a fantastic fight with a little bit of a weird stoppage. But hey, he's a small guy, but guys, we got to give him some love because this dude is action-packed fighting through and through. He just got a 12-round knockout. We're going to call it a 9. We'll talk about it in a second over, again, Seigo Yuri Akui. And I couldn't have been more excited. Now, it's a couple days after the fight, and I had some time to think about it, and I was thinking, like, man, the end of that fight was weird, but what set that up? Because Yuri Akui looked very tired after that, like, 11th, 12th round, and I was like, man, what happened? Because the dude's been bam, 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 bam all day, picking apart Kenshiro Teraji. I think it was the body work, guys. I think if you watch the fight closely, Kenshiro Teraji really did a good job of going to the body time and time again, over and over again, to really work on the cardio of Akui, and it worked. It worked so well. We all know Kenshiro Teraji's defense is not the best. We know that. That's fine. We'll give him that. He gets beat up a lot. But man, the pace he drives and the amount of attention he commands when he fights is just magnificent. And he's smart. He's such a smart fighter. Think about it, man. Like, this dude here, he comes out and he's like, oh man, I'm having a hard time at range. What am I going to do? First 3-4 rounds, Seigo Akui was really just dominating, picking him apart. And Akui's like, his work is like really basic stuff. 1-2, 1-2. That's it. It's nothing revolutionary. 1-2. He'll come over the top. You know, just the basics of boxing. But he's practiced the basics of boxing so much that even at these smaller weight classes, what weight class is Teraji again? I forget in boxing. It's flyweight. Duh. Man, how do I say this? Even like these smaller guys generally are they're generally a lot more technical because you can afford to be. You're faster. With the less size you have, the more technical you can be. Whereas Seigo Yuri Akui was like, hey, I'm going to do the basics. I'm going to do the basics well. And that's something we talk about a lot with Canelo Alvarez. We talk about how Canelo Alvarez really doesn't get too fancy, and he simplified his game over time to where it's really like, hey, I'm going to punch you on the arms. It's going to be a big left hook to the body, and I'm going to look for the big shots up top. And that's generally what he does. Seigo Yuri Akui does the same thing. And we can see against somebody like Kenshiro Teraji, whose defense, again, isn't quite all there. His defense is porous, and Seigo Yuri Akui really took advantage of that for most of the fight. He really just a good jab to simplify this. So what Kenshiro Teraji said is, okay, if we're not going to fight how I want to fight, we're going to fight up close and impersonal. And you can see kind of in the middle of that, the second quarter of that fight, Teraji and Akui really are boxing in the pocket. Just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Slugging it out. And that second quarter of rounds, which, 3, 4, 5, maybe 4, 5, 6, something like that. You remember the spot, though, where Teraji's like, okay, and he just, we're going to bang it out because I'm tougher than you, and I bet I'm tougher than you. I bet I'm tougher than you. That's what he says to everybody he fights. Like, everybody he's tougher than. And it turns out it's true because you see him going in there. He's getting clipped, and it's like not doing anything to him. And he's smashing it out over and over again, and he's hitting the body of Seigo Yuri Akui over and over again. And eventually Kenshiro Teraji is like, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. And he was behind on the scorecards, I felt like. I even think like the official scorecards going into that 12th round said he needed a knockdown to make a draw for this fight. I'd like to see him run it back, you know. I'd like to see him run it back, and I wouldn't have been mad with a draw. I'd like to see what Kenshiro can bring to the table when he has to make adjustments after a fight in a rematch. You know, I'd like to see that. And he did that against, Yabuki. You remember that's this one loss. It was a 10th round TKO. Like fighting like Kenshiro Teraji, you got to come out. But like he rematches with Yabuki the very next fight, 3rd round knockout. Fantastic fight. That's one you need to go back and watch, that 3rd round, because Kenshiro just comes out like a bat out of hell, man. He beat Hiraguchi after that. So this guy's just incredible with not just the pace that he drives, but the amount of punishment he can take, because he does take a lot of damage. I'll tell you what, guys, let's go over to the web real quick here. Kenshiro Teraji. Let's see. Nope, hold on. Ring.tv. I should probably pull Ring up from here on out. Oh no, ringmagazine.com is not working. Well, that sucks. But let's go to the world ranking on BoxRec then. We'll take a peek at that. Ola Skuga, 9-1. I don't think he should be ranked that high. Angel Larzabal. I don't know how to say these guys' names. Don't make fun of me, guys. Galal Yafai. So that's the guy that just beat Sonny Edwards. He beat the brakes off of Sonny Edwards too. 6th round knockout, and was just pounding him. Galal Yafai, that'd be a fun fight. I'd like to see the Kui fight run back, Felix Alvarado's a former world champion. He's coming off a loss. So I don't know if you want to book that. I don't know who else they would have kind of coming up that would like challenge him. You've got the champions right here for Teraji with Gafai. You could really make a case for that. Get out of here, stupid ad. Where's it at? There it is, right here. So, you got your IBF guy, your IBO. Galal Yafai's got the WBC, and then that's the interim title. So, Galal Yafai, he's not ready for Kenshiro Teraji. Let's be honest. He's really not. But what he is ready for is Teraji, that is a big-name fight. And if you want a big-name fight, Teraji, I don't think he has the size to move up. But you see the name I'm looking at right there. I think Bam was in flyweight at one point. Yeah, he's moved up. Bam versus Teraji? Guys, come on. That's the fight. I really want to see Bam versus Jesse Rodriguez versus Kenshiro Teraji. Those two guys, man, 2 top 10, 15 pound for pound fighters. Like, you got to put Bam up there. He's just incredible. But you also got Kenshiro Teraji, who's also like great. So I'm partial to Kenshiro Teraji. I think he's a fighter that can really go far and really take over. Yeah. Look at this though. Check again. We've talked about this before. Yabuki right here. Kenshiro's got to win over him. You got Kenshiro Teraji right here. Seigo Yuri Akui's a close second. Junto Nakatani, Yoshi Takai, Nishida, Naoya Inoue. What do you notice about all these guys? Japanese guys. Japan is absolutely taking over the sport of boxing. They are taking over, especially in the smaller weights. These guys are coming out and they're putting on incredible performances. Nakatani and Inoue are bound for a heavyweight title fight. Or not a heavyweight. You could listen to me. A super fight in Japan. Heavyweight. What? They're gonna have to spend some time eating or doing some juice, guys, because they're not gonna make heavyweight. That's for sure. But these Japanese guys are incredible, and of course, I think Inoue is the best of them. You might say Nakatani. I can't put Nakatani above Kenshiro Teraji in terms of like Japanese fighters. Teraji might be the best fighter not named Naoya Inoue out of Japan, boxing-wise, that is. And if that's the case, we got to give him more love because he deserves it. He deserves it 100 times out of 10. Now, I mentioned Junto Nakatani, and I do have a video about him coming out probably in a couple days. Or actually, yeah. No, it'll be all out on Monday. We'll do it on Monday. But if you want it earlier, on Sunday, sign up for membership. You can get early access to this video a day early. You can sign up on YouTube or you can sign up on Substack. Now, if you're on YouTube and you sign up and you tell me, hey, I signed up on YouTube, I'll give you a membership to Substack where we can get the written copy early too. That's something you want. Check it out. In the meantime, Fight Finder 6 is out now. LSU Wrestling, if you're a wrestling guy. I want to do some boxing here soon in the future. We're going to be talking about, in Fight Finder 7, we're going to be talking about boxing. Old school boxing. 1890s. Jim Mace, John L. Sullivan, Bob Fitzsimmons, all of them. Boxing New Orleans. Fight Finder 7 coming soon. And check out the playlist right here. That's where it's at.